Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
What's up? What's down? What is going on around? I'm Paulo Leasing, author of Startup Taiwan Foreigner's Business Guide. This show is to answer your questions about starting up in Taiwan, either for business, school, or just hanging around. So leave your questions in the comments section below. And before we continue, I just want to ask forgiveness because we are in an open space. I just try to find like a space for us to be a little bit quiet. Our guest for today is Jeanie Tsui from Hong Kong. Jeanie is founder of Book and Pub that helps entrepreneurs promote their brands and build trust by content marketing and book publishing. She is also founder of Master Spanish Now, an online Spanish academy connecting Spanish students with native Spanish teachers. Jeanie has a Master's of Philosophy in Botany and Plant Biology from the University of Hong Kong, and also studied Spanish language literature from Universidad de Salamanca in Spain. Jeanie, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
First
Yay.
question. First question, what is your Taiwan connection? What brought you here?
I'm from Hong Kong, and Hong Kong is very close to Taiwan. So there has always been a lot of travel connections and exchange between these two places.
Okay.
So like many fellow Hong Kongers, I love traveling to Taiwan, and I'm very in love with this country. The people are friendly. Before I formally relocate to here, I have been traveling to Taiwan like several times every year. And I've already got like my own social circle here. I have friends here. And so in 2019, I was thinking to start my publishing agency. But starting such a business in Hong Kong will be difficult. The first thing is that the cost of starting up in Hong Kong is very expensive. The rent is very expensive. The labor cost is very expensive. And also Hong Kongers are not that into reading. My observation is that many people in Hong Kong would love to publish their own book, but they are not going to like buying others people's book or reading others people's book. So another thing is that Taiwan is very mature in publishing industry in terms of like Chinese publishing is like the top of the world. So I thought that if I'm starting a publishing agency, then I better off moving to Taiwan. And then after doing business here for almost 2 years, my agency has been slowly evolving from a publishing agency to a publishing / digital marketing agency.
Okay. So could you tell us more about your two startups?
Yeah, sure. So my first startup is an online Spanish school, which I start like 5 or 6 years ago. It has been quite some time ago. At that time, I was still having a full-time job. So it is an online business that I do on the side. I'm currently not actively like working. I still own the company, but I don't devote much time on it because I've already built an automate system, and I have done a lot of content marketing and digital marketing on the school. So I just let the school run on its own. And because I've done a lot of digital marketing, it's pretty easy for my clients to find the school with the right keywords. Okay. So they would just find the school, and if they check out the school and the courses, and they see and the teacher, and they would just book a Spanish class. So now my energy would be more focused on the digital marketing and also the publishing agency.
Okay. During this pandemic, how do clients reach out to you? And are your foreigners mostly foreigners who want to market in the Chinese-speaking countries such as Taiwan and Hong Kong, or just anyone, also Taiwanese and Hong Kongers?
Well, I have a varieties of clients, and during this pandemic, I will say that digital marketing helps me a lot. I have clients from Hong Kong who found me online and gave me like a business of like 100,000. So I would say that digital marketing is something that every business should invest on, and that's why I am so passionate about helping others with their digital marketing too. And some others clients find me through referrals.
Okay.
And some other clients find me through Taipei Entrepreneur Meetup. So
Okay.
I've been creating a lot of content and posting it on the group Facebook, and also I have been kind of a active members. I've been going to the meetup, and so this is how my clients, those foreigners clients in Taiwan find me.
Okay. I just need a little bit of clarification. You mentioned 100,000. What's the monetary unit? Is this US dollars, Hong Kong dollars?
Taiwan dollars.
Taiwan dollars. Wow. That's actually good. So let's go straight to our topic of promoting brands by way of content marketing and book publishing, both of which are your expertise. What do you think is the current challenge that foreigners or foreign startups in Taiwan face and related to content marketing? And what do you think could be a solution?
Well, there is a common thing that I have been observing from the clients that I've been working with recently, those foreigners who are trying to start a business here and selling to Taiwanese clients. One thing I noticed that they haven't been doing a lot of digital marketing promotion in Chinese, and the way how they do it might not suit the market very well, and may not be very appealing to the clients. So, for example, I have seen a client who directly translate her copywriting, her promotion from English to Chinese. So her English copywriting is amazing, it's very effective, but if you are doing like a direct translation into Chinese, it would look kind of funny and weird, and Taiwanese clients would find it, would not connect to it. So, but the thing is that if you are selling a product here in Taiwan, you can't just sell it to foreigners here, because you would need to aim to sell it to the dominant market, which is the Taiwanese market. So it's very important for you to have your copywriting or your promotion content to be written or be created in a form which is localized to the culture here in Taiwan, and which will echo to and which will be appealing to Taiwanese customers here.
Okay. Do you think that the foreigners who set up their startups in Hong Kong are different from those who choose to build their startup here in Taiwan? How so?
I would say that both places have the advantage and disadvantages. I would imagine that if a foreigner is trying to set up a company in Hong Kong, they would have less issues with language and culture. I have watched some of your videos with your previous guests about like turning Taiwan into a bilingual country. And unfortunately, it's still not the case now. But in Hong Kong, for example, before I come to Taiwan and work with Australian and Canadian boss, and they never really bother to learn Cantonese. So in Hong Kong, the thing is that if you are a foreigner, everyone would expect that we Hong Kongers speak English to them.
Okay.
So even if you are a foreigner in Hong Kong and you don't speak a Cantonese, there might be some inconvenience, but in general, it's still very okay. You can still land on those very high paying jobs, or you can just open a business and get a lot of clients. And you don't really have much issues about language. And also all our official documents are in English. And sometimes there will be a Chinese translation, but usually we will do all the emails and also the official documents, quotation, contract in English. But here in Taiwan, things are opposite. So they do everything, all the official documents are in Chinese and all the conversation in Chinese. And I can see that will cause a lot of confusions to entrepreneurs here if they are trying to going to a government office to get something done.
Yes.
I suppose it will be difficult for them. And yeah, so this would be the good things about starting a business in Hong Kong. They would be facing less barriers in terms of language and also culture. But on the flip side, Hong Kong, as I said, is very expensive to start a business in Hong Kong. The rent is prohibiting expensive, and the labor cost is also very expensive.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. But the other observation, and this question is you partly answered already. Do foreigners here even target Taiwan market properly, or do they care about the Taiwan market, or they're just building their startups here? What's your take on this?
My feeling is that it very much depends on the products or services. I do see, I have a client who are giving yoga class in English, and he is only aiming to target English speaking clients. And I think that if you are happy to niche your market like this, is perfectly fine for you to not doing anything, not doing any promotion, not localizing your promotion to Taiwan market. But in general, if you are selling any kind of products, like food, like beverage, and any kind of products, you really should think about marketing to the Taiwanese audience, because I would say that I do have clients selling products here, and their experience is that 90% of their clients will be Taiwan clients who speak Chinese. So this is something that you should be consider if you are a foreign entrepreneur who is trying to sell a product here in Taiwan.
Okay. Book publishing is a very special type of content. Why do you think brands or startups need to do this? What's the advantage?
I would say that book publishing would give you a lot of authorities. So I suppose, Paolo, you are also one of the established author here, and you have written a book about Taiwan entrepreneurships and how to start a business in Taiwan. So after you have published a book, you are seen as an authority and expert in this area. And so nowadays, a lot of people are doing a lot of publicity for setting up a YouTube channel or setting up a Facebook page. These are effective strategies and promotion tactics, but still book has its special levels of authorities, and it's still something that people would regard as something more of a higher level. So if your company have certain amount of content and you would like to publish it as a book for promotion, this is something that you should go for. But I do know that publishing a book is not easy because we entrepreneurs are busy and it's very difficult for us to find time apart from running our business to just sit down and write a book. So if I would say that publishing a book would be something long term, but in short term, focusing or investing on digital marketing will help a lot with your business, and you will see both immediate returns and long-term returns. Take my online Spanish school as an example because I've invested a lot of time and energy on the digital marketing part. Now I can just let it to sit there and get my clients to buy it and it just run on its own. So I would say that I see that a lot of entrepreneurs will see digital marketing expenses is a cost, but I would I would suggest to every entrepreneurs to see digital marketing as an investment, because if you invest your time, energy, and your money on it, you will see results and it will help you long term.
Okay, so you've been in Taiwan for quite some time now. How is it so far? And is there a way that Taiwan as a whole can address to improve the lives of us foreigners here?
Well, I would say as life in Hong Kong, there's always up and down. And so in my first year, believe it or not, I do experience a lot of cultural shock. And
Still culture shock.
now it's okay. I've already passed my first year. But although there are a lot of cultural similarities between Hong Kong and Taiwan, still there are a lot of cultural difference that I wouldn't expect it, and I didn't expect it because before I relocate to here, I was just a tourist, and if you are a tourist, you usually only see the bright side, right? And you are also on a different vibe. But if you are coming here, like really living and starting a business here, then you will experience a lot of cultural shock. So, for example, for me, we Hong Kongers are very straightforward. When we are talking, if we really don't agree, don't think something is a good idea, we will say it. But here in Taiwan, people are, I feel that they are too polite, and they will cushion their negative comment in a way that is very fake. And in the beginning, I did that. It took me some learning process to really understand what they are trying to say. But I just feel that if they can, for example, they can just in a business scene, if they are feeling something shouldn't work in a certain way, they can just say it. It will save both parties a lot of time and energy in figuring out what is being by the other parties.
I think you're talking about a very deep Taiwanese culture of saving face. This is when you do as much as possible a way to make sure that the other person leaves a conversation or argument with his face on. Like, at least this is something that was taught to me ever since I came to Taiwan, to make sure that I don't embarrass a person, even if I think that a person's opinion is against mine, and I need to make sure that I deliver it in a way that I save this person's face. Anyway, we can do a fast round. Just tell me what comes to your mind first. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
What is your daily breakfast?
Yogurt.
Okay, are you a morning or night person?
Morning person.
Are you Android or iOS user?
iOS.
Okay, Mac or PC?
Mac.
What's the current show that you're watching on Netflix?
The Crown.
Do you have a favorite book?
I have one, which unfortunately I left it in Hong Kong. I have always regretted not bringing it to Taiwan. It's called the tango lesson because I am a tango dancer, and I echo a lot with the experience of the writers that she writes about how tango changed her life in the book. And I have once thought about writing an email to an author, which never came to me, reading others' book. So yeah, it is a book that I love and impact me a lot.
What is your favorite movie of all time?
Titanic, I guess.
Is there okay, so yeah, so finally let's talk about your action items. How can we help you in this show, and what are your plans?
Well, I would really love people who have digital marketing problems to come to me. They don't need to really be my client. I am happy to talk about how and offer suggestions about digital marketing to people. And this is also, I also see that an experience of getting me to know more different type of business and how digital marketing can apply to them. Of course, digital marketing is a very broad um, industry, and I'm more specific on copywriting and also on Facebook side, but still I can offer some suggestions out of these two digital marketing techniques or medium to help industry or helping entrepreneurs. So if any entrepreneurs who have problems in digital marketing, they can just DM me and we can have a chat.
Sure. What we can do is we can put the links to your social media handles, or if you have a website, I'll put it in the description of this video. But thank you so much for gracing our show, Jeanie. And for our viewers and listeners, please help spread the word about what we do here by subscribing to our channel so we can give you more of these cool stories. Jeanie, thank you again. Until next time.
Thank you. See you.
See you.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.